to raise production capacity, then also to establish industrial democracy. The last one, to protect workers' economic and social, protect workers' economic and social interests. So if you look at the first point, definitely it's obvious. And the second, there was the interest of workers in management. If one is working, the expectation is that he should be able to meet his or her social needs through the job, right? So under those circumstances, we should see that the working conditions in such a way that employees are able to meet their needs. You know, highlight of what? Needs, basic needs, that is. So, this is how we answer those basic needs. And at the same time, when you have owners who are represented by the management, they have the goal. So, if it's a business entity, the goal is to make profit. So, they should see that the profit is what is being made. So, such kind of stuff may be attained only if there is good coexistence within the working place. Then also we talk of prevention of industrial disputes. We could have people disagreeing on a number of issues, but we should see how best we can have such kind of stuff. So, industrial disputes, they can be resolved outside court, right? We have within the working sector, and we should see mechanisms through which, if there are at all disputes, those disputes will be what? Amended. To the extent that if we see that probably within at the organizational level you have failed to resolve what disputes are there, only you may take them outside. We have the industrial court, right? Yeah. But here, if you go like at the DC, there is what we call labor office, right? Yeah. So those there as to see how they will be dealing with what? Industrial disputes. So we see or we look forward that industrial disputes at all levels are managed in the better or best way. Then we talk of raising production capacity. We try to promote harmony or peace in an organization so that people should be happy. If people are happy, they will show their commitment. They 100% commit to the work they're doing. And in doing so, we'll be able to see that production will go up more. With it, right? Yes. Then the other one, industrial democracy, people should be able to know what is good for them and what is expected of them. So, when they democracy, it's like having freedom. So, whenever we see that probably things are not okay with us, be an employee or be an employer, we should be able to voice out, or you should be able to face the result why this is happening. In doing so, you find that such kind of stuff can happen only if there is peace there, only if there is good industrial relations. Yeah. You see, when we learning of management, we have several management theories. You look at how leaders do they get the work done. There's some leaders, they'll use power so that the work is done. The leaders, they won't use power, but they will just try to motivate people so that they can see the work. You have the head of autocratic leadership, democratic leadership, ex-theory leadership, white theory leadership, all those. You find that within those leadership styles in management so that we understand that really what should we do so that others will see the product of the yeah. So the moment a leader is within the working place, he should understand people, he should learn people and see what best practice of leadership style should he or she employ within the working sector. I think you're enjoying the class. Yeah. Alright. With that, let's also see another thing. Let's look at important principles of industry. industrial relations. Important principles of industrial relations. So it's like we are trying to see what will be the foundations upon which the industrial relation should dwell or should depend upon. So inside there, you have this to establish a good industrial relation. The following principles have been evolved. EVOLVED. The following principles have been evolved. To establish good industrial relations, the following principles have been evolved. The following principles have been evolved. Number one, frank and free exchange of views. Frank and free exchange of views between trade unions and employers association. Between trade unions and employers association. Between trade unions and employers association. So if you look there, what we are focusing on is that we have already said whatever industrial relation we see in various workplaces, it is as a result of working itself. So that means we have the employer side and the employee side. So these people they should be able to see what is expected by looking at the needs of their respective. Right? Then later on, with a frank and free exchange of views, you should be able to bargain. Say we need this, we need this. We should be able even to question and say, no, we shouldn't treat it be employer or employee in this way or such way. So in that then you should be able to reach a unanimous decision. Two, industrial relations disputes. Industrial relations disputes should be not industrial relations disputes, should be industrial disputes should be resolved. Industrial disputes should be resolved. Industrial disputes should be resolved by collective bargaining. Should be resolved by collective bargaining. Should be resolved by collective bargaining between trade unions and employers associations. Collective bargaining between trade unions and employers association. Full stop. We continue. Legal methods may be used. Legal methods may be used only if all other measures fail. Legal methods may be used only if all other measures are failed. So, as I've already said, within any institution, at least there should be a policy. Say, Ampagamba, Kamida Bagata, Sampana, Bagata, and Zofia Shiro. We create such kind of works. Exactly. And if we fail there, that's when we may be thinking of going to court or other kind of stuff. Newly, I have already said, what should I know definitely? The trade union is there to fight for his right for her rights. Alright, let's proceed. And there, you write good number 3, right? In order to establish good industrial relations, 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 there should be a desire for mutual cooperation. There should be desire for mutual cooperation between trade unions and management associations. Between trade unions and management associations. This is very important, right? Because if there is no self-willingness, we may not create a good relation there. Especially this might be seen when we talk of private-owned companies. If you look at private-owned companies, most of the time the way they are land managed is a bit different from the public ones. You may find that sometimes the owners of the company, they may not have that desire to help the employees in the way the employees will be looking forward. And they would rather just apply on them, use them for their own benefit. So, if in order to have a good industrial relation, at least there should be that mutual coexistence between the employer and the employee. But if there is no such, we may not be able to have what? A good relation at workplace. With the other one, right? Sense of belonging to organization. Sense of belonging to organization is created. Sense of belonging to organization is created among workers. Is created among workers when they get opportunity. Sense of belonging to organization. Sense of belonging to organization is created among workers when they get opportunity to participate. When they get opportunity to participate in management. Full stop. You proceed. Their morale is boosted. Their morale is boosted and it leads to good industrial relations. Their morale is boosted and it leads to good industrial relations. What do we see? That is, employees, they should feel like owning the company. And you may find that the employees can only feel loyal or part of the company if they see their representation. So, how we see employees being represented is only when we see that organizations or companies, they are making decisions with the involvement of who? The employees. So, you may find that sometimes there are other companies where you are always told what to do. You can't get employees out. You find that in such kind of companies, employees probably, they just find themselves there waiting for other opportunities. But we need to create a situation where an employee feels proud and feels drawn to the institution. There only we would see even their commitment being high. But otherwise, you may not have such kind of stuff from the employees. The other one, there should be effective communication. There should be effective communication. There should be effective communication. There should be effective communication between workers and management. There should be effective communication between workers and management for good industrial relations. That's a good principle. Communication is everything at work. Because if there is no communication between these parties, sometimes we may not see the good coexistence, or we may not see the good results or products of the company just because there is no effective communication. The last one. All employees be treated equally in an organization. So we talk about equality. Equality is also the base or important aspect or principle of industrial relations. We should see that under any circumstance, there is no discrimination within the workplace. Like away from entry into the company at the time one is exiting. I remember the time I was teaching this point with Mona. I asked, you see, sometimes sometimes people are recruited just because maybe Amazon unable to in the organization.
Yes, and that's mostly right now.
Yes.
If you don't have a connection, you're not going to pay.
You can't have.
Yeah.
So I asked her, do you see that is good? So at first she said yes. So I said, why? I said, no, if you have a relation and you get the job there, that's good. That sounds like I asked her, I said, let's take you find a job opportunity, you have applied and you feel like you qualify for that job. And you have done all what it takes, and you find that in that company, they have recruited somebody who is not qualified, but just because they are ready, you feel good. That's when she said, no, I think that is not good. They shouldn't be mentioned. Yeah. And in fact, most of the time, from unity, people would be like, I should do whatever. As they different say, as time goes, you find they are in this company model because of the inefficiency. You there? Yeah. So we can only have good industrial relations if there is no sort of discrimination. At least there should be equality. You're there, right? Now let's look at 4 factors in developing industrial relations. 4 factors in developing industrial relations. You're there, right? So in this case, you list them, then we'll start with them one by one. The first one is environment, yeah. Number 2, parties to industrial relations. So in parties to industrial relations, we've seen about 3, right? Mm-hmm. Workers, employees, and government. You there, right? Then the same, right? Industrial relations process or processes. Industrial relations processes. Industrial relations processes. And 4, industrial relations outcome. So you write down. Industrial relations system. Industrial relations system. Industrial relations system operates within an overall system of the country. Industrial relations system operates within. Industrial relations system operates within an overall system of the country. An overall system of the country in which a variety of factors operate, in which a variety of factors operate to determine the industrial relations system. Operate to determine the industrial relations system. Then we started the first one, we said the environment, huh? Yes. Alright. Under we have environment, and under the environment you write this. Industrial relations system operates in a given environment. Industrial relations system operates in a given environment. Full stop. This environment is dynamic. This environment is dynamic and changes over the period of time. It changes over the period of time. It's dynamic. It changes over the period of time. Full stop. Therefore, In the theoration system, therefore, in the theoration system, which is workable in a given environment. In the theoration system, which is workable in a given environment, may not be equally effective in the changed environment. Full stop. Major environmental factors which impact on the industrial relations are economic, technological, political, legal, and social. So, what we see there, as we see these factors, that is, readers, they should see the environment and see what desirable relations do they need to see. So, that means whatever the situation we have is as a result of the elements of the environment. So, you continue there. While these environmental factors are quite broad, and affect the total organizational processes, the more specific environmental factors, Well, these environmental factors are quite broad and affect the organization processes. The more specific environmental factors affecting an industrial system in an organization are as follows.
The more specific environmental factors
affecting an industrial relation system in an organization are as follows. Number one, the level of economic development affecting employment, the level of economic development affecting employment and financial compensation. The level of economic development affecting employment, and national compensation, nationally and locally. So, in this case, a good example, let's look a little bit with what our country is facing or has been facing. You find that if you look at economic-wise, we are badly been affected.
Yeah.
We have seen devaluation of our quarters now and then, right? Almost 3 times.
Yeah. University has also devalued.
That tells that the life out there is what has gone high. It's very costly. But you find that the employment or the jobs that given to people has never given adjustment to their time. How do you think people will cope up? Definitely it's hard. So definitely a good reader should be able to see all those factors, to see how the development go about, and see what adjustment should also be bringing the working sector, so that others we see happiness from the employee too. But we find that these things are not there. So we should be able to understand the economic involvement within our working setup and see what adjustments could be there. Likewise, we can also see, in terms of production, how is the company being affected and what kind of adjustment we need to bring in. Number two, we've got the nature of technological development. The nature of technological development, determining the job content. The nature of technological development, determining the job content, determining the job content, determining the job content, which may be interesting or uninteresting, which may be interesting or uninteresting. If you are seen or you are read before, many people they do resist technology.
Yeah.
Why? You may find that technology makes displace the need of a worker. Where we see that probably a job that has been done by many people can be done just with a single machine.
Yeah.
In which you may find that whenever technology is to be adopted, you see a lot or a number of resistance. So we should be able to see if we are migrating, we are trying to adopt too much of the technology, how best do we introduce that? So that as we are trying to introduce such kind of stuff, we should see that both parties, the worker and the employer, they are happy. Employees will be happy, I mean the employers will be happy because they will see that they will be saving, because the number of workers will be going down. But the question will be, how best do we see that, should we do so that we don't save too much bad side effects from the employer side? So we should understand the importance of bringing the technology and at the same time the bad impact that the technology will have, so that as we see that the handling of the technology does not oversee the relation that will create. The first there, the interference of political system, the interference of political system in industrial relation system, the interference of political system in industrial relation system, directly or indirectly, formal or informal. When you are lying, an organization, be it public or private, we see a lot of pressure from the political aspect. And we should see what influence or what pressure the company is receiving from what? From the political side, and see how best we can tackle or we can intervene so that we do not disturb the operations of the company. I guess whenever we see political functions happening out there, companies do play a crucial part. Parastatals do play a crucial part. We find that probably the governing party or the politician may be going office and office asking for what? Asking for support. Such that if, by nature, you find that if you ignore such kind of stuff, you may not have opportunities within the business segment. But you need to try as much as possible that you please them. So in so doing, you should be able to please the political side, not at the expense of the industrial relation. So that as we are able to see that as the company is working and is able to see or to have the goal that it has been set for. So we need to balance that. The fourth one, under the fourth one, we look at the legal framework of the country. The legal framework of the country. The legal framework of the country governing the legal framework of the country, governing the legal framework of the country, governing the employer-employee relation, governing the employer-employee relation. What it means there is that as we are doing, or as we are learning our institution, we should see what the Constitution impacts the way on the affairs of the company. Sometimes we may find that companies or organizations have gone into trial just because at one time or the other they did not abide the requirements of the law.
Yes.
And if I say, even if we look at probably right away from the working conditions, you find that every work or every job has a minimum time that one has to be working. But you find that probably the employers, they would overlook such kind of stuff. They would give job to their employees more than they expected, working more hours, and they never compensate such kind of stuff. So sometimes, now that employees are aware of what is expected, they may just remain probably quiet.
Yes.
Until certain times, probably they are eating. If you will find that they take their bosses or the management to court, and the court, the company, they have lost a number of resources to compensate such kind of stuff. So we should be able to see what is the legal environment all about. Are we following all what is expected? So that at the end, we may not find ourselves in a bad situation or bad state. The next step, we have social attitude towards industry. Social attitude towards industry, employer-employee relations, and their working. So when we talk of social attitude, we look at a number of factors covered under the demographic, right? So definitely we should see what the attitude people do have towards the working sector. And the attitude should be a positive attitude, so that others will see a positive relation within the work sector. They don't even they're gonna country very more. That we are Kungo figure around to 8. There are the text Mona will serve winner. Yes. It's not Mona Lisa, she's just Mona. That's the only said me. Oh, that's not Victor. We have one word today. Oh, the rabbis. What is the difference in the year? That's how I'm it's when I received a call from Dean. Yeah, I did the students. But we are regarding one of my students that were in. Okay, it's fine. Yeah. You're not okay, sure. Good. Alright. Then, the last point under the involvement there, you look at the involvement of trade unions and their approach, the development of the trade union and their approach, the development of the trade union and their approach towards management and industrial relations. Do you know that most companies, they don't like trade unions for the obvious reasons. They want to exploit the workers. So in this case, we should see, what backing do the trade union have, and how do they have to be interacting with the institution. So they just keep a line and write this. These environmental factors provide opportunities. These environmental factors provide opportunities and constraints. Opportunities and constraints should be these environmental factors provide opportunities, should not add, but should opportunities, and I mean all country in developing industry. Country, that is CONSTRAI. STRAINTA in developing industrial relation system. To the extent these factors are positive, the industrial relation system would be effective. So, just as we see the last one, we talk of the trade union, where you see most employers, they always see the the trade union from the negative point of view. But they don't see, but we see that there is a good coexistence between the employers association and the trade union. We would see harmony, or we would see good working conditions within the working status. We go to factor number 2. In factor number 2, we take a look at patterns, right?
Yeah.
So you have patterns to industrial relations. And on patterns to industrial relations, we have this. We want to look at one side, the rest will be the other. So there, right? Various patterns to industrial relations. Can be grouped into three categories. Let's start there. Employees in the association, stroke unions. Employees in the association, stroke unions, comma. Employers and the association, in government and its various agencies. AGEN, see of the president. Yeah. So that's like we talk of the offices we see, the labor office. These are the agents of the government. You're there, right? Yes. So right, these three parties perform different roles. RULEA. These three parties perform various roles in industrial relations. And derive their power within the framework of involvement. So you write employees. And on employees there, you write employees are a party to the situation. As they are affected most by the industrial relations outcome. In industrial relations system, Victor, you like. Do you know this guy? You like me. I came to say, what was that? In an industrial system, employees may be grouped into two categories. Those who have been defined as workers or workmen, and those who are not covered under Industrial Dispute Act. First of them.
Those who are not
Covered under Industrial Dispute Act. They continue. Various characteristics of employees, such as various characteristics of employees, such as their commitment to the organization, their level of education, and social background, their attitude towards the management, and the organization, and their commitment to the work, and their commitment to the work, determine the extent to which they will, right, one, improve their conditions of employment, two, void any grievances, three, exchange views, ideas with management. Four, sharing decision making. So that's it about employees. And just again, the heading where we'll pick up in our next meeting, right, trade unions. Thank you so much, Sarah. Where did you say? It's up there. When did you join the association? kuya zote jakali kuya. Mawa zote, mango zote. Agamu mtadaji zote juma, chakali zote. Januari December. So that's it. Yeah? Oh yeah. Neanche una vita da fare giro la vita da zero, capire come dire. Oh, sta magica. Sì, ma I can get that. Io sono usa maneno. Vero? Mateo unamuuza. Ndio madana mmoja katika kuna unichaliza. Namuuza ni mama wanga kwani. Anangoza mama mena aje basi. Esa mzigo. Maja kukozi kwa ngoja ndani. Don't dare to take him yesterday. Mungone ya. What do you mean? Iwe usana pije. Polisi manje. Mafuta ni zero kabisa. Mafuta mambo moja wa zero. Yes.